My name is Chuck Whitman, and I build great traders that lead great lives. Traders I've trained have generated in excess of $1 billion in trading revenue and are found at some of the largest proprietary trading firms and hedge funds in the United States. Spotting the next NVIDIA, your guide to finding explosive stocks. One of the biggest premises in trading to make sure that you get right is to understand this one idea. And this one idea is what to trade, not how to trade. What to trade, not how to trade. What to trade, not how to trade. Everybody spends so much time trying to figure out how to trade. What indicators to use to get in, what indicators to use to get out, optimizing, buying courses, doing all these different things to try and find better ways to trade. Well, if you want to trade better, just trade better products, trade better stocks. Most traders spend too much time focusing on optimizing strategies rather than selecting the right markets. They start trading a strategy, it goes through a losing streak, and the first thing they want to do is they want to try and fix it. So then they start tweaking their method, and in doing so, they usually create the optimization road to ruin, which is that basically all the work they do to make it better actually just makes it worse. If you just find the right markets to trade, everything is going to be much easier. It is the path of least resistance. If you just think about the last couple of years, even the last couple weeks, either you or you know somebody who's made a fortune in crypto. Maybe they made a fortune and then they lost it. Maybe they're making a fortune right now because since the election, Bitcoin has exploded and crypto is up across the board. Well, is it because crypto's magical? No. Is it because these people are great traders? No. It is a strong market for fundamental reasons right now. So if you want to make a lot of money, you should trade crypto now. But you have to understand that when that comes to an end, you need to stop trading it. Otherwise, you end up in a situation where 2021, you make a fortune in crypto, and 2022, you lose it all. So what I want to do today is I want to show you how you can find the next NVIDIA, how you can find the next explosive stock. Now, to do this, we're just going to talk about two different approaches at a high level. We're going to talk about the top-down approach. I've created the 10 irrefutable laws of trading success. And in our top-down approach, we use several of these laws. The first law we use is law number 2, which is relative strength leads the way. I created this concept called WHAM relative strength, and we use it to identify leaders and laggards in asset classes and in sectors. So this is the first place. Really, the first place is we look at the overall market. And if we look at the overall stock market right now, it is really strong. The S&P is having a big year. All the indexes in general are having good years. The S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Dow are having great years, and the Russell has been a laggard, but the Russell's been picking up since the election. So we want the overall market to be strong in terms of WHAM relative strength, and then we go in and we look at the leaders and the laggards in terms of asset classes and sectors. So overall market, sector. Now we're in the sector, we're going to go find the strongest sectors. Then we're in those sectors, we're going to go to law number 4, which is plurality equals profits. In law number 4, we're going to find the sectors that show a majority of the stocks moving in the right direction. So it's not only a strong sector, but the majority of the stocks in the sector are strong. You could, in some sectors, you could have a stock like Amazon, for example, in consumer discretionary that is so big by market capitalization that it just dwarfs all the rest. So we don't want that. We want to make sure that all the stocks are going up. Then within that list, we go through those stocks and we identify the strongest fundamentals. Then we get into law number 5, which is volatility is your friend. Then once we've created this list, then we want to look for stocks that are in volatility contraction. And when we get a volatility breakout, that tends to be the start of a new move, a new leg. So we're going to want to get it long that stock then. We're going to want to avoid buying stocks that are at volatility extremes. Okay, so we're going to look at that. And then there is the bottom-up approach. The bottom-up approach is we're going to monitor for significant moves in average true range. And we're going to do this across different periods. We're going to do it by the day, we're going to do it by the week, and we're going to do it by the month across the universe of stocks. Then what this allows us to do is if some stock starts to really move, we'll know about it. And when a stock has a big move, we're going to go look at it and go, okay, what is going on with this stock? Sometimes you'll find something that is just starting to move. By using this approach, you can get on early stage moves before they actually qualify in the top down analysis. So we're going to go through this quickly. So we have a service that we offer that does a ton of this work for you. That's one of the key things we want to do in your trading journey is we want to help you succeed. We want to help you succeed in as little time as possible. So using this spreadsheet is one of the ways that we do this. So we call it the end of day playbook. And in the end of day playbook, it's going to track WAM relative strength and change. It's going to track average true range changes across various time frames. You're going to be able to see the daily volume and the average volume to know whether it's a high volume period or not. And then there's a series of proprietary indicators, which I'm not going to get into today, but that help you identify the top names to trade and how to trade them. Okay, so, and the service helps you avoid you having to have a market surge subscription, which is about $1,800 a year. It would help you avoid having to have like a NinjaTrader subscription because NinjaTrader is very good scanning. And that would be roughly $1,200 a year. And so let's go in and let's look at this spreadsheet. Now, in our spreadsheet, we have a tab called Dashboard, and this shows all of the strongest groups. It has all 197 industry groups plus major sector ETFs and futures asset classes. It has FX, fixed income, grains, etc. So you have this page helps you have a top-down view. So one of the things that we can do is we can come in here and we can sort by WAM relative strength greater than 80. And what this is going to tell us is this is going to give us the percentage of stocks in that group that have a WAM relative strength greater than 80. This is going to show the strongest groups and the strongest groups with plurality. So we're going to focus today on, we can see that one of the top groups are banks super regional. This is an IBD industry group, and there's 10 names in this group. They all have WAM relative strength above 80, which is awesome. Also, when we look at this group, the other thing we're going to see is that all of them are near their 52-week highs. It is the strongest group by that measure. And then you can see to the right, it has the daily, the numbers that moved up, moved down, same for the month. And then it has some of the patterns that we look for. All right. So now once we know that we're looking for banks super regional, we can go in and look at those individual names. So to do that, we can go to the equity tab, and this has thousands of stocks in it from all the different groups. What we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to just select banks super regional. And now those are the 10 names that we saw that are in that group. Now from here, we can actually go look at the WAM relative strength in the individual names, and we can go look at a day since the last 52-week high. They're all making new highs. You can see the daily average true range, the weekly average true range change, and the monthly average true range change. You can see that the entire group is super strong in November. There's almost all of them have had a minimum of one ATR move. Then to the right, it actually has a fundamental filter, which is EPS. So we can see how strong the fundamentals are by earnings per share. All right, now once we have this group, we can take these and we can go look at the charts. We're going to look at Northern Trust first. So Northern Trust, in this chart we have here, we have monthly candles, we have weekly candles, and we have daily candles. So we're just going to do a quick check. So it's making new 52-week highs, and you can see it's just this is a volatility contraction right here. This is a weekly volatility contraction. When we get breakouts from either monthly or weekly volatility contractions, it can be massive moves. So here we had an extended weekly contraction. This was earlier this year. And basically in the fall, we started breaking out of here before the election even. You can see we started breaking out of here. I think this is part of the Trump trade where they started to anticipate that Donald Trump was going to win. And you can see exploded out of here. And you can see it broke out of another volatility contraction over here and exploded. So there's a lot of great things going on here. But when we go look at some of the other names, one of the things we're going to see is look where Northern Trust is relative to its highs. It has not taken out its highs from 2021. So it's a strong name, absolutely. But one of the things we're going to love to see is stocks that are making all-time highs. So we're going to look at Huntington Bank Corp. It's also in this group. And we can see with Huntington Bank Corp, we look at the monthly, it's making multi-year highs. It is not taking out its highs from the 2000s, but it's making multi-year highs, taking out significant resistance levels, doing it on good volume. And you can see here, it was in its own volatility squeeze, broke out of it. It's been off and running. Okay, so this one we like better than Northern Trust because it's making multi-year highs. Okay, we're going to look at another one. We're going to look at Fulton. And when we look at Fulton, we can see Fulton is making all-time highs. We really like that. So it's not only it's making all-time highs. It broke out of a volatility contraction just like the rest of them. So we like that one. Now, last one we're going to look at is Regions Financial. Regions Financial is another one. We're checking it, making multi-year highs. It's not taking out its highs from the 2000s. It's making multi-year highs. Broke out of a volatility contraction on the weekly and broke out of volatility contraction on the daily a couple times. Another one that's really spurting. So when you look at these names are much easier to make money in than banging your head in something that's going nowhere. And how long did it take you to find this when we use the spreadsheets? Literally just a matter of minutes. So it's a massive time saver. If you just focus on trading names like this, you're going to have a chance to do really, really well. The how to trade is much easier when you're trading names like this. So I'll show you one last scan here, and let's go back to the equity tab, and we're going to take the industry groups off. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to look at anything that moved. We're going to look at the daily ATR change, and we're going to do this from largest to smallest. Okay, so this is Tuesday. This shows us the moves to date. Now, I'm going to filter by volume. I don't want all of these. I'm going to want ones that are greater than 500,000 shares. This will also help nail it down. Okay, now, these are all the big movers from yesterday. So Bright Cove, B Cove, it's a small price stock. It's a $4.30 stock. It was up 5 ATRs yesterday. Here's another one, Quantum. Let's look at Quantum. It's a $21 stock. It's got good volume. It was up 5 ATRs yesterday. So that's QMCO. Up, and there it is. There it is. Broke out of a multi-months yesterday. It had two massive ranges up, right? So then we'd go through and we want to go see what is going up with Quantum Corporation. And maybe this is something now that's on our radar. I wouldn't be buying it off a move like this because going back to volatility is your friend, this is way too extreme. So we'd have to really digest this to understand. And there's patterns that we teach about how you do how you read volatility digestion to know when to get in a stock like this. But right now on this, I'm not buying this. But I'm going to go do research on it, and this could be something that's worth trading. Let's look at one more. Let's look at Color Technology. This is another big mover, and it's a high volume. Well, it's only 79 cents, so we don't want to do that one. Let's do Bed and Bath Body Works. A big 3.39 ATR move yesterday, or 3.31, trades 5.7 million shares a day. And there it is. It had earnings yesterday. Big gap up on earnings. But you can see in the context of the yearly, not much going on. So this would be something I'd look at, but on face value for right now, I probably would skip this. Hopefully this helps. If you use this simple process, it will save you so much time and so much heartache and so much frustration. Take the path of least resistance and go trade the best names. What day is it? It's Tuesday. It's not any Tuesday. It's Trader Tip Tuesday. That's right. Trader Tip Tuesday, where I come to you with tips like today of how to find the next NVIDIA that helps you take your trading to an elite level. I'll see you next week.